Popular Culture Resource Team. How can I help you? And back joining us in the studio for Popular Culture Resource Team is Eugene's. Oh, Eugene. Eugene, hello to you.
Hi guys, happy Friday!
Eugene, you know that picture was younger than you right now. Can you believe
were like
that?
28 or 20, right?
I was like 28, 29.
Wow.
I'm gonna say the same thing I told Puyong.
What
You
was
don't
that?
think you're gonna get old? You know, I was probably going like, I'm never gonna get old. I'm never gonna get old.
Totally agree to it.
That's 11 years ago, guys.
11 years ago?
Remember this day 11 years from now. Okay, Eugene? When
Okay.
you're like, I don't know how old you're going to be from 11 years now. You're going to be
Okay.
like, oh man, I remember what SJ said.
Said?
Oh my goodness. And then I'll be like 50 something back. I'll be like 50 then. And it'll be a different story. It'll be a different story.
Older version of SJ.
Enjoy your youth.
Thank you.
Enjoy your youth. It goes by very, very quickly.
You're still young too.
I
Don't say like you're like 50 or something.
I'm immature.
Immature.
Yes, I
That's a
act
correct
young.
word.
I act young. I act young. I act young.
Young. Mhm.
Anyways, it is a new month.
Yes.
Which means we're going to start a
Yes.
new drama. What are we going to talk about?
So this month we're gonna talk about one of my favorite dramas,
Oh,
which
yeah?
is Crash Landing on You, or 사랑의 불시착 in Korean. And I have to say this. This is one of my all-time favorite dramas. I'm a little biased, and it aired from December 2019 to February 2020, and it's available on Netflix. So if you haven't seen it, you can watch along with us this month. It stars Hyunbin and Son Ye-jin.
You're married now.
I know.
This probably kicked it
know.
off. This probably kicked it off.
So these are two of Korea's biggest stars. This drama became a massive hit not only in Korea but also internationally. But honestly, part of what made it even more talked about is what happened off screen. The two actors actually fell in love after working together and later got married in real life.
Man, let me tell you,
Wow.
I know somebody. I'm not going to say who. Someone people know, but she was close to Son Ye-jin.
She
And there was
close to-
rumors going on around that they were dating. And then I said, so-and-so, I know you go to her house all the time. Have you seen him at the house? And she goes, no. And I was like, that is the biggest lie I've ever seen. I was like, I know you can't lie. Your face says, she goes, like, I really don't know anything. And then after a week, they said they're going to get married. And I was like,
Wow.
so-and-so, you're such a lie. You lied to me. And then she went to their wedding. And I was like, what? What?
She was a liar.
I'll tell you who it is later on. But anyways,
yes.
Obviously, two very beautiful people.
Yeah.
Two very beautiful people. You know what?
What is...
That kind of looks like us sitting down right now.
What? Sorry, I'm laughing. Because of Astrid or because of me? That's so important question.
I'm so glad this is an English broadcast. If this was Korean broadcasting, I'd be dead already. Anyways, romantic story.
Yes.
Romantic story.
Yes, yes.
So let's talk about briefly what the drama is actually about.
Okay, so the story begins when Yoon Se-ri, a wealthy South Korean businesswoman played by Son Ye-jin, gets caught in a sudden storm while paragliding and accidentally crash lands in North Korea.
Jeez.
So there she meets Lee Jong-hyuk, a North Korean army officer played by Hyun-bin, who decides to hide her and help her get back to South Korea. It's like a love story that unfolds across like one of the most politically divided borders in the world. And before we dive deeper into the drama, I think it's really important to give our listeners some context, because like without understanding the real situation between North and South Korea, like a lot of what makes this story so interesting won't fully make sense.
Yeah, and also like, a lot of what happens in the drama happens in North Korea. And we don't fully know what happens in North Korea. And so it's, from what I understand, it's like part imagination.
Right.
But also it's part, I heard that they consulted with some North Korean defectors.
Yes.
Right? So there is
Yes.
some truth to it. I remember talking to Chung Char. I don't know, do you remember Chung Char?
정철?
Chung Char? He was our North Korean... Defector? He was on that show for Korea Now.
Oh.
You remember him?
No.
Were you there? Oh.
No, I wasn't there.
Oh, you weren't there. I went to Kayo Top 10 with Chungcheol. It was really funny. You weren't there. Anyways, I asked him, I was like, is it very similar? And he said, you know what? Yes, some parts of it very similar.
Wow.
But again, I think a lot of international viewers might not fully grasp just how significant that border, right? The 38th parallel,
Yes.
the DMZ,
Yes.
how significant that border exactly is.
Correct. So South and North Korea were once one country sharing the same language, the same roots, and a long shared history. But after World War II, the Korean peninsula became divided, and in 1950, the Korean War broke out, separating the two Koreas even further. The fighting stopped in 1953, but the war never officially ended. Instead of a peace treaty, the two sides signed an armistice, essentially an agreement to stop fighting. So technically speaking, South and North Korea are still in a state of ceasefire, and that's why the border between them remains one of the most heavily guarded borders in the world.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that people don't know or remember is that we're technically still at war. I mean, that's just the thing, and it's just a I mean, if you hear the tragedy, you know, it's families separating and all that stuff. It's just very, very tragic. But the fact of the matter is, yes, we are, two countries that are still very much divided.
Yes.
And that situation, in that situation, guys, in that situation where South Koreans can't go to North Korea, remember this, you can't go. The Chinese tourists can go to North Korea.
Yes.
Russians can go to North Korea.
Yes.
It used to be that Americans could go to North Korea too. South Koreans can't go. And then Yoon said he crash lands in North Korea.
Exactly.
Can you imagine? Of all places, North Korea. That's going to be scary.
And interestingly, it's not completely unrealistic from a geographical perspective. She ends up landing in the DMZ, the demilitarized zone.
Yep.
So it's a buffer zone established to prevent direct military clashes between North and South Korea. And ironically, even though it is called demilitarized, the areas around it are among the most heavily guarded places in the world. Like, ordinary civilians cannot freely enter, of course. There are military posts, fences, landmines, and strict security measures. And what surprises many people is how close it actually is to Seoul. So Seoul, the capital of South Korea, is only about 50 kilometers from the DMZ.
Yep, it's very, very close if you think about it that way. You can actually get there in under an hour.
Yep.
Because the road there, it's not trafficy. You can go past Paju, you go past Paju, you go up there. It might as well be on the other side of the world because of the border that's so heavily guarded. The distance doesn't matter. You still can't go.
Yes. So geographically, it's not that far away at all, but psychologically, it's an entirely different story. And in Yoon Se-ri's case, realizing that she had crossed into the territory of a country that is technically still at war with South Korea would have been absolutely terrifying, because it meant that getting home was no longer a simple matter of crossing a border. It suddenly became a matter of survival.
Yeah, now, like, if she was like a female soldier, maybe okay, then let's try to do this. But you're talking about an heiress, like a super rich, never lifted a, I don't know, lifted a fork. Maybe they feed her. I don't know. I don't know what rich people do. It's going to be very difficult.
Yes.
But the thing is, the drama setup, it's not action.
It's not action.
There's some action.
Yes,
some
of
action.
course.
But it's romance. Romantic. However, the real background is very serious, right?
Yes. That's why I think this drama is so fascinating. It takes a very serious historical and political reality, and it turns it into a story that viewers can emotionally understand. So instead of giving a history lecture, it makes us feel the division through two people, like a South Korean woman who wants to go home, a North Korean man who wants to protect her, and two people who should never have met but somehow do.
You know what's funny though?
What is that?
You know, there's a saying in Korea: pretty women are from North, handsome men are from the South.
Really?
Yes, but here,
Are you sure?
but here it's the handsome man from North, and the pretty woman from the South. No, you don't know about this? Wait, what is that? What is that saying? There is no. What is that word that they even had a show? 남남 북녀. Yes.
남남 북녀?
So good-looking guys, south. Pretty women in the north. And if you look at North Korean women, I mean, there's no plastic surgery.
Yeah.
No heavy makeups. They're very pretty.
Yes.
But here, it's pretty woman from the south and handsome guy from the north. It's the opposite way.
Opposite.
It's the opposite way. But of course, the drama version of North Korea may, again, not be the same in reality. Part of it is from imagination.
Yes.
But let's talk about how the production makes the detail feel believable, though.
Okay, so the production team reportedly worked with people who had actually lived in North Korea, including North Korean defectors and experts. They helped with details like North Korean dialect, expressions, daily routines, clothing, food, and small habits as well. And that's why many viewers felt that even though the story itself was fictional, some everyday details felt very specific. For example, the way people speak, the way village women gather and gossip, the way goods are traded, or the way people rely on each other in a small community. And those details made the drama feel more alive. I think that's one reason international viewers got so interested. It gave them a glimpse into a world they don't usually see.
That's right. And again, I mean, this is something that Chungcheol has told me about. How they, talk to a lot of the defectors and try to make this as real as possible. But for many viewers outside of Korea, North Korea is usually shown only through the news.
Yes, like missiles, politics, military tension, diplomacy. But this drama shows just like ordinary people. Of course, fictional ordinary people, but still people with families, friendships, and love. And that makes the story easier to connect with emotionally. The drama humanizes people across the border. It reminds us that behind politics and borders, there are just people like us.
I just used ChatGPT and I wrote, how do I say 윤세리 씨 아주 이쁘네요. 윤세리, you're so pretty. 윤세리 동무는 참 곱습니다. 윤세리 동무는 매우 아름답습니다. 윤세리 동무는 정말 곱구만요. Yes, I'm trying my North Korean dialect. But of course, for Korean viewers, it probably felt different from how international viewers watched it.
Definitely. So for international viewers, it may feel like a unique romance with a very dramatic setting. But for Korean viewers, the division of Korea is not like ancient history. It's still part of our reality. So many older Koreans still have family histories connected to the Korean War. Like there are families who were separated and their brothers, sisters, parents, and children have spent over 70 years unable to see or reach each other. So while Crash Landing on You is a romantic comedy on the surface, underneath it is also a story about a country that remains divided to this day.
That's right. And probably something that probably never happened in the first place. That's why it's a drama. We'll continue to talk about all the hidden elements. Crash says, did he have to train in North Korean dialect for filming? Yes. You're talking about Hyunbin. He definitely had to. He definitely had to learn it. And you have, North Korean defectors who teach him, coach him how to talk North Korean dialect. So that's that.
Yes.
We're going to take a short song break before we really break down all the hidden cultural elements within this drama, Crash Landing on You. This is the original soundtrack from the drama. This is 10cm with But It's Destiny, 우연인 듯 운명.
Hey! Stop looking at the clock! We still got more work at the Culture Inc.
We're back in the studio with Eugene from Popular Culture Research Team. We're having a lot of fun turning just normal South Korean sentences into North Korean. We turned Eugene's, I keep saying Eugene's now. Eugene's Ditto, the song that got you very famous here, and turned it into North Korean. 훌쩍 커버렸구만 길에.
훌쩍 커버렸구만 길에. 함께 지낸 추억 마냥 동물을 바라보는 내 마음은 어느새 여름철은 가고 가을철이 들었구만. 하염없이 기다렸지비.
You sound like you're from
하염없이.
You sound like 강원도. You sound like you're from.
Those dialects are similar to
훌쩍
each
커버렸구만
other.
길에. 함께 지낸 추억 마냥 동물을 바라보는 내 마음은 어느새 여름철은 가고 가을철이 들었구만. 하염없이 기다렸지비.
하염없이 기다렸지비.
Oh my goodness.
So difficult to follow.
It's very difficult. It's very difficult. All right, what's our next topic today?
So our second topic comes from one of the most interesting details in the drama, and it shows how North Korean society actually functions day to day. Sorry. So Seri, even in the middle of this completely dangerous situation, still needs things like shampoo, candles.
Candles?
Yes. And snacks. She's a wealthy businesswoman and she has standards. So Jonghyuk goes to a place called a 장마당, basically North Korea's version of a marketplace, to get what she needs. And later, Seri herself goes there with a village woman. So today's topic is the 장마당, North Korea's marketplace.
All right, so I'm gonna have you drink some water. I think you need to clear out your throat. But we're gonna share a picture of how a 장마당 looks like right now. And I have to say, I am so surprised.
Why?
At how clean and well organized. I was thinking like out in the street, like dirt road, like wooden stalls. This is not to the level of South Korea. But this is as modern as you can get in North Korea. This is, wow.
Look at those like colorful balloons.
But the crazy thing is it's a market in a socialist country.
Yes. So basically North Korea is officially a socialist state. So in theory, the government provides everything from food, housing to jobs through a national distribution system. But in the mid-1990s, North Korea experienced a catastrophic famine. So hundreds of thousands of people died and the distribution system completely collapsed. People had no choice but to start trading among themselves just to survive, and informal markets began appearing where people sold whatever they had and bought whatever they needed. That's how this market was born as a survival mechanism.
Like, it's crazy because North Korea would technically say they wouldn't allow this to happen.
Yes.
Because it's acknowledging that their system failed. But they were saying, I mean, you wrote hundreds of thousands, but they were saying some unofficial numbers were like millions.
True.
Over a million was what they were saying. I mean, this was the Great Famine in the 90s. But right now, even under Kim Jong-un, he's encouraging the 장마당 market, and there's more of this, and it's vast right now. So people started creating their own markets because the official system just stopped working.
Exactly. And today, decades later, the market is absolutely central to North Koreans' daily life. There are now hundreds of markets operating across the country, and people buy and sell food, clothing, household goods, electronics, essentially everything. And there's even a saying in North Korea that goes like, at the market, you can find everything except a cat's horns, which is funny because cats don't have horns. The point is that you can find literally anything there.
고양이 뿔을 찾을 수 없네요. I can't do it.
고양이 뿔을 찾을 수 없구만 그래.
없구나 집이.
없구나 집이.
Anyways, so it's a fully functioning market economy operating inside a socialist state, basically.
Essentially, yes. And one of the most fascinating things sold at the market is South Korean goods such as electronics, cosmetics, rice cookers, and clothing. And according to many defectors, South Korean products have also circulated through these markets. But you can't just say South Korean out loud for political reasons. So instead, people used a code words such as the neighborhood below or the lower village, but everyone knows what it means. So a vendor might quietly say like, I have some goods from the lower village, and buyers immediately understand what that means.
Yeah, and I heard that they would actually take out the scratch off the logo. This is like Samsung or like LG or Cuckoo. They'll just take it out, and that's why I jokingly say I look like the guy up our neighbors up north, right? Or up there. It's the same way. But what else do they sell?
One thing I found really fascinating is that South Korean dramas and movies have reportedly circulated through these markets for years.
This is the black market, right? This is really, really secretive.
Yes, right, the big black market. So since the early 2000s, South Korean dramas, films, and music have often been passed around on USB drives and SD cards. let's save that story for next week because there's a lot to unpack there. And what's important for today's discussion is that the rise of the 장마당 didn't just change what people could buy. It also changed how an entire generation grew up. And that generation is often called the 장마당 generation or like marketplace generation. So this term generally refers to North Koreans who grew up after the famine of the 1990s and came of age alongside the rise of the markets. And many researchers argue that they grew up seeing the importance of trading, negotiating, understanding supply and demand in everyday life.
Yeah, we had our North Korean defect after Jeongchul. We had Jojo.
Jojo, his name is Jojo.
His name is Joe, but his last name is Joe.
Oh.
His English name is Joe. So Jojo was telling me that when he was in elementary school, he would get like vegetables. He would gather vegetables, go to the 장마당, and sell it and make money off of that and try to buy like fish or like buy something that he could eat with the family later on. And he would sell stuff at the market as a second grader. Elementary school, second grade. He only went to first grade because he had to work and try to make money and things like that. But despite that, he's written like several books now and speaks pretty good English.
Yes.
So they grew up in a very different environment, basically from their parents and their grandparents, very different.
Exactly. So interestingly, some analysts have even compared them to South Korea's MZ generation. Because both groups came of age during roughly the same period from the 1980s through the early 2000s and grew up during times of rapid social change. The big difference, of course, is the context. South Korea's MZ generation grew up with smartphones and social media, and North Korea's 장마당 generation grew up in a much more restricted environment. But both generations played greater value on individual choice and personal opportunity.
So this market created like a whole new generation with a completely different mindset, right?
Exactly.
Money first. We don't
Like
worship
SJ.
we don't worship the great leader. We worship the great dollar, the great one, the great money. We go. Pyong. This is what we want, right? This is what we want.
Yeah, so it influenced how people think about opportunity, information, and everyday life. In the drama, the 장마당 scenes are actually quite joyful. People are shopping, chatting, and laughing, and Seri is quite amazed by what she can find there. But once you understand the history behind those markets, it adds a completely different way to those moments.
That's right. Again, I mean, we've talked about this before with the 장마당, these markets and the black markets, but it's really fascinating how they're able to get all this.
Yes.
They usually get it through China, different ways, and they're risking their lives basically for a lot of the goods.
Yes.
We're going to continue to talk about all the hidden cultural elements within the new drama that we're covering, Crash Landing on You. This is another original soundtrack from the drama. This is Yumire with Flower. Back in the studio with Eugene to talk about all the hidden cultural elements within Crash Landing on You. And again, I even asked, the question that I asked, remember Jojo, was like, did North Koreans secretly watch Crash Landing on You? And he said that there are. There are
Really?
black market. But I was like, can you imagine a North Korean person watching this drama and going, how come there is no soldier that looks like Hyunbin? Right? How come 어디 집이요? 어디 집이?
Is that North Korean language?
I can't do North Korean accent. But it's the same way, right? That whole joke, like when you come to South Korea, we're all the BTSs and stuff like that. But anyways, what's our final topic today?
So our last topic starts with a scene in the drama that's easy to miss, but actually opens up a really fascinating story about Korean ingenuity.
Okay.
So while staying at Jonghyuk's house, Seri discovers a hidden underground storage space. It's called a kimchi
Oh.
It's a traditional underground storage space used in North Korea. They used it as a natural refrigerator built into the ground, so people use it to store kimchi, potatoes, sweet potatoes, vegetables, and sometimes even meat during the winter.
So this is the kimchi from the drama.
From the drama.
Who?
Yoon Se-ri.
Oh, it's like-
She's hiding there.
that looks so scary. I was like, who's that little girl in there?
Yunzeri.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is the kimchi and so it's like underground.
Underground, like a cave.
So like a natural refrigerator built into the ground because again,
Exactly.
like it's hard to have refrigerators.
Yes. So both North and South Korea have long traditions of making kimchi for the winter, but North Korea is generally much colder. In some regions, winter temperatures can drop far below freezing. So simply burying a kimchi jar in the ground, which was common in South Korea for centuries, wasn't enough. The extreme cold could freeze the kimchi or even crack the jars. So people dug deeper underground spaces called kimchi-ung to protect food from the weather. And because North Korea still struggles with electricity shortages, it's a practical necessity that millions of households still rely on today.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I mean, like, cause Lee Jung-hyuk is like he's from high up.
Yes.
Right, he's high up, but even his house has that. But it doesn't matter how high up you are, electricity is not always. It's very spotty. I think
Yes.
probably like Kim Jong Un is the only guy that has like all the electricity usage is going there and all the hacking places that's
True.
going on. But you guys seen, listeners, how in South Korea the way that they preserve kimchi, it's just barely underground.
Underground,
It's good enough, but
yes,
north it's
right.
colder. It's colder. Same problem, how to store kimchi, but led to two completely different solutions depending
Yes.
again on the climate and the circumstances.
Yes. So the question of how to store kimchi evolved very differently in South Korea. So as Korea rapidly urbanized from the 1970s and 80s onward, millions of people moved into apartments. And apartment dwellers have no courtyard, no garden, nowhere to bury a jar. So the question became, how do you preserve kimchi without a yard, a garden, or buried jars? The answer was the kimchi refrigerator, and it became one of Korea's most iconic household inventions.
Again, the thing is like it's like dedicated to kimchi,
Yes.
but it's different from a regular fridge.
Yes, just only for kimchi. So kimchi continues to ferment over time. So we can say it's alive. If the temperature changes too much, the taste changes too quickly. A regular fridge is constantly opened and closed, causing temperature fluctuations. But a kimchi fridge keeps a much more stable environment. It carefully controls temperature and humidity, so kimchi can ferment slowly and maintain its flavor for much longer.
Yeah, I mean, every household has like a kimchi fridge. I have one too, and if you put kimchi there, I mean, it just lasts much longer.
Yes.
So much longer. So it's basically recreating the conditions of those underground storage spaces. Is what we're looking at.
Yes, the goal is to keep food cool, stable, and protected. And today, a kimchi fridge is considered an absolutely essential appliance in Korean homes. When younger couples get married in Korea, a kimchi refrigerator is on the standard list of appliances you're expected to have. It's not considered a luxury, it's a necessity. And interestingly, kimchi refrigerators have started becoming popular outside Korea too.
Huh, okay. So even in countries where people don't eat much kimchi.
Exactly.
Okay.
It turns out that the precise temperature control that makes it perfect for kimchi also makes it ideal for a whole range of other foods. For example, cheese lovers use it to age and store like artisanal cheese. In Japan, it's popular for storing miso and other fermented foods.
Yeah.
Chefs and serious home cooks use it for aging meat, storing delicate produce, and keeping ingredients at precise temperatures. So what started as a very specifically Korean solution has turned into a premium appliance for food lovers around the world.
Yeah, even like, Shin Dong-yeop, right? A famous comedian. He's like a big alcohol guy. He's a big champagne guy. He keeps like a lot of champagne
Yes.
In the kimchi refrigerator because it has like the perfect humidity
Yes.
and the temperature as well. Okay, so traditional food culture inspiring modern technology is what we're looking at.
Yes, if you follow the story, it connects traditional food culture, like survival strategies, climate, and modern Korean technology. It's from an underground bunker to a high-tech appliance. And what I find fascinating is that despite decades of division and very different political systems, people on both sides of the peninsula have often faced the same everyday challenges. Like, how do you store food through a long winter? How do you keep kimchi fresh? The solutions may look different, but in the end, people were trying to solve the same problem.
There you go. Halsey says, how does 빨간 맛 sound in North Korean accent?
Oh.
Which was played in Pyongyang, right?
Yes. 평양.
빨간 맛. 그게 어찌 생겼는지 궁금하구먼. 한 입에 베어 물면 스르르 녹아내리는 딸기 맛이구나. Or 빨간 맛 궁금하오 동무. Instead of honey, it's 동무. 깨물면 점점 녹아들는 빨간 그 맛. 모퉁이 사단가게를 찾아보. That's the corner candy shop. 내가 제일 좋아하는 것은 여름 그 맛. GB.
Where's the rhythm?
I can't. You can't. I challenge anybody to sing it with the rhythm in North Korean accent. You can't. All right, Eugene, thank you very much for this. Can't
Thank
wait
you.
for a full month of Crash Landing on you. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you again on Friday.
Thank you. See you next Friday. Bye.
We talked about kimchi. We're sending her out of the studio. This is Norajo with kimchi.